Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking the time to stop down and meet with me again today, after I met with many of you upstairs in the atrium when you first checked in on this gorgeous, gorgeous first day of the cruise. As promised, I have a lot of things to talk to you about, a lot of things to show you, and as many of you, we're also guaranteed a couple of promises along the way. So, let's get started. Again, my name is Jeffrey. I'll be with you throughout the extent of your cruise. I'll be taking you to different ports of call, different businesses and shops that are open up just to you and me while you visit each destination. You know, speaking with many of the men and women up there like yourselves, everyone seems to know what a girl's best friend is, so I guess women are better advertisers than we are. But yes, it's true, diamonds are a girl's best friend, without a doubt, right? Okay, well, ladies, when I asked you what a man's best friend was, I heard some crazy answers, to say the least. I heard things like football, and you're right, I have to agree. Football, baseball, national pastimes are probably a very good friend of your man. I heard things like beer, and I would have to agree with that, although some men maybe more so than others, right? I also heard classic cars and automobiles, which, I must admit, would probably be something that I might guess right away as well. But if you think about it more closely, and I'm sure many men are nudging their wives by this time, a man's true best friend, other than you ladies of course, is the wristwatch. I'm not talking about just any wristwatch or old timepiece. I'm talking about a wristwatch that's as bold as it is beautiful. A wristwatch that's as timeless and elegant as it is functional. I'm talking about the Breitling wristwatch. Now, Breitling just isn't any wristwatch or any timepiece. No, not by a long shot. Breitling has been a family-run and operated business for over 125 years. In 1884, Breitling opened its doors, and since then, they've been perfecting the watch with the best engineers in the industry. Breitling has become, ladies and gentlemen, a true connoisseur's watch. And in addition to the Breitling family of watches, I'm lucky enough to show you today a very special watch. It's part of the Breitling family. I have today a Breitling GT Motors by Bentley. That's right, Bentley and Breitling teamed together a little over 5 years ago, came to the drawing board and came up with their first edition GT Motors by Bentley timepiece. Now, some things that are synonymous with Breitling and Bentley that I think of, that should come to your mind also, things like power, luxury, and prestige. All of these things went into the design and expert craftsmanship when making this Breitling watch. Now, I have pieces I'm going to pass around and things that you can see at my table when we're done, but first, gaze your eyes on its excellent beauty. First, you'll notice the size of the actual watch body, the powerhouse unit that stores the brains of your watch. 48 millimeters in diameter. That's ginormous. I mean, this watch is as heavy and daunting as it is beautiful. Truthfully, it really is. Wrapping this 48 millimeter bezel is a knurled bidirectional compass. Now, this piece actually circumnavigates the wrist bezel in a bidirectional method, meaning the user has ultimate functionality and customization with their best friend, right? The knurled bezel may look familiar to many of you. It actually is the inspiration behind the instruments and gadgetry on Bentley's GT motor cars along their middle instrument panel as well. As my watch is shown here, you also have the option to add, yes ladies, diamonds around your knurled bezel to give it a more custom look, maybe a higher degree of sophistication. I really enjoy the diamond option on this piece. It contrasts beautifully with the silver, which, gentlemen, by the way, you may opt for a gold or a titanium band instead of the silver band. Now, when you think Bentley, and I mentioned power before, and luxury and prestige, keep in mind that with Breitling, already probably the most sought-after watchmaking brand in the world, surely one of the most recognizable name brands in the world, they put behind their bezel the powerful instruments and chronographs that Breitling came to be known for. Things that can keep track of the day of the week, the day of the month, things that can keep track of your lap times when you're racing around the track in that beautiful new Bentley of yours, which, by the way, a Breitling watch comes complimentary whenever you buy your first Bentley. Protecting the sweeping minute and second hands and the various chronographs and second hands and date hands that face the inside of your watch is the highest degree of sapphire crystal, making this watch nearly indestructible, surely scratch resistant, and, don't forget, on a cruise in the ocean, water resistant up to 100 meters. My, this would be a beautiful addition to a dolphin swimming excursion or a water ski excursion, not to worry about ruining the watch by going too deep into the water, right? Ladies and gentlemen, this watch I have here today is the brainchild of over 125 years of the very best watchmakers and craftsmen in the industry, now teamed up with Bentley, who may quite arguably be the best manufacturers of high-end motor vehicles in the world, to bring this timeless fashion piece to you. Ladies and gentlemen, with this watch, you truly can make a statement without ever saying a word. People will notice. You'll surely notice this beautiful new watch on your wrist. With this watch, ladies and gentlemen, the Breitling by Bentley GT Motors line, time truly is an elegant entity. This watch retails at a little over $7,300. But come with me throughout this week, and I'm going to show you how you can have this watch, plus many, many other watches, just as beautiful, for much, much less. Thank you all so much for coming down. I look forward to meeting with you afterwards. I have plenty of watches to show you on my design table. Other than that, have a beautiful afternoon, and safe shopping.